lose everybody?
Be back.
I don't know. So yeah, it was there. They're in North Carolina. They're all in North Carolina.
Power of the gavel, isn't it? Let's please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And may we have a roll call, please? Here.
Here. Here.
Here.
Here.
Here.
Here.
Rob Wells, Bill Wachulis, and Brian Kramer are excused. We have a quorum.
I thank you. And do I hear a motion to approve the June 8th TDC meeting minutes?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed, thank you. Public to be heard. Do we have anyone from the public who wishes to make some sterling statement this morning? Please come forward. Do you have a mic up there?
We do. There's a
There's a mic up there at the podium.
It's on the podium. You don't have to hold it.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jim Griffith. I am the director of the Sidney and Byrne Davis Art Center on First Street. And I have with me also the assistant director, Devin Parker. And we would just like to recognize and thank you for the two sources of funding that we receive from the TDC, which is the Arts and Attractions Grant and the special events. And we wanted to talk specifically about our fourth annual Smoke on the Water Barbecue and Music Festival. It was held in April, and we had approximately 30,000 guests come to the event, and it was a spectacular success. It's held right downtown on Edwards near Centennial Park, and it has grown tremendously each year, and with the help of your assistance, this year it was our best ever. Many of the competitors that come from all over the Southeast to participate in the competition claim that this is the best festival, barbecue festival in the entire state. So we're very proud of that, and they're very happy to come to downtown Fort Myers. Often they're out in fields or on baseball stadiums and things like that. But for the fact that they're here in downtown Fort Myers, they're able to participate in the event as well as the surrounding historic, beautiful downtown is a tremendous benefit for them. Our visitors were more than ever, and the impact that this event has on Fort Myers is tremendous, and that's Devin's going to talk a little bit about those numbers.
Good morning, everyone. I just handed a few of the sheets out that are from the most recent Arts and Economic Prosperity Study that the Americans for the Arts did in partnership with the Alliance for the Arts, and all of the arts organizations in the area participated. And according to those numbers, with our estimated attendance of 30,000, our audience spent outside the cost of admissions approximately $945,000 and had that impact on the area. I did pass that out. And the full study is available on the Alliance for the Arts website. So I just wanted to tell you that this event is definitely benefiting downtown and Lee County in general, and has a great economic impact. We have had an estimated 115,000 visitors this season, and our audience had a total spend of over $3.63 million in the area. So we want to thank you for supporting us, and our audience is definitely having a great impact, and we look forward to future events.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you much.
Nice, yeah.
Any other public to be heard? Seeing none, before we move into municipalities, I think we ought to welcome a couple of people. Welcome back, Mayor Kevin Roane. Good to see you again. And we have a new TDC member, Cape Coral Councilwoman Raina, did I say that right? Raina Erbrick?
Yes.
Okay, well, welcome.
Thank you.
Today, and we have Kevin back.
You ready for
I
this?
just,
Oh, we did that already?
yeah,
Come on, listen, Pat. He didn't get any applause. Oh, no.
Dang, I think that is so cool. Sorry, excuse me.
all right, now, do we have municipalities to be heard? Easy for me to say. Judy's not here this morning?
Here.
Judy's here, but nothing?
No, we have Kevin now. We don't need you to
This morning.
forget.
City manager. I did not.
What's that about?
Boy, there's no rest. Anyway, time for our executive director report.
Well, good morning. Excited to get to our July meeting finally. A little late on our meeting this month, but we're happy to have it today. Let's start off with the bed tax collection report. Right. So we're reporting May numbers here today. For the month of May, bed tax collection came in at just under 2.3 million, up 2.5% from May of 2016. And that is certainly helping the deficit we began the calendar year with, but we have not quite completely made it up, down 0.7% as compared to last year through May. So pretty confident we'll make that up as the summer goes on, but we'll keep a close eye on that, of course. In terms of the STAR report, occupancy was down 0.5%, but both ADR and RevPAR were up, ADR up 3.1% and RevPAR up 2.5%. Traffic at the airport was up 3.7%, and for the year-to-date, they're now up 1.4%, and this is for May. I know I just saw in the paper yesterday the June numbers, and they were up again in June, so this is fantastic news that we're driving additional summer traffic through the airport, typically our slower period for airport traffic, so that's great news. Now I would like to give you the communications report. Francesca could not be with us this morning, so I am going to be your communications expert. While they're pulling the report up, I wanted to update you on a couple of things. One, thank you, Jim, for sharing the information on the arts report. I believe Lydia is planning to come. Lydia Black from the Alliance for the Arts is planning to come and give a presentation on that to you in the near future. I think we're going to try to get that on the August agenda. So know that you'll be hearing more about that report in a little more detail. In addition, this month just got back, and the reason we're having our TDC meeting a little bit late is because I participated in the Destinations Marketing Association's annual conference, and as part of that, one of the items that we have been working on this year is renewing our accreditation through Destinations International. We've been an accredited bureau for nearly 10 years, and this was our full renewal, all 95 components on which they evaluate our organization. A ton of work gathering all the information together and submitting it, responding to all the questions, but we did receive our what they call DMAP, Destinations Marketing Accreditation. So we are very happy to announce that this morning that our accreditation has been renewed. So let me quickly run through the communications report. Francesca has a ton of highlights here, and I'm going to really skim over them. But the biggest and most important component is that we've exceeded, for the third quarter, 1 billion in impressions in media. So we'll quickly just show you some examples of those. I'm not going to speak to any of them. Some really fantastic placements: Boston Globe, USA Today, Travel Channel. We like this one particularly. For Father's Day, there was a column that was written on mancations, vacations for men, and got picked up, syndicated by more than 20 Gannett newspapers. So that was a fantastic number of impressions that piece. Good Housekeeping, Brides, some really great placements for this time frame. Targeting some millennial publications as well, trying to introduce ourselves to the younger travelers today. On the international side, some great placements as well. Talk a little bit about the recent communication initiatives. Participated in a number of media marketplaces. We're at the North American Travel Journal Association's conference in Raleigh and the SATW's Eastern chapter that happened in Wyoming. The good news about the SATW is that we will be hosting that conference in Lee County next year, June 4th through 7th. So a lot of travel writers right here in our own destination. We're very excited about that. Of course, staff was at IPW as well, and Stephanie will be giving a full update on IPW, so I will leave that to her. We also participated in the Outdoor Writers Association of America conference. Number of regional media missions, and one of the things we're working very hard on is highlighting our area and some of those new markets that have been opened by by additional seats from Allegiant Airlines into Punta Gorda. So they're not new markets, so to speak, but there's some additional service. So we were pointing that out as we went on those missions to those key markets. And of course, we did in an islandology immersion in New York, went to a lot of the publishing houses, and in partnership with Pink Shell Resort, we had a guest chef at Time Inc. and Condé Nast. We had some really good feedback and have seen some good press from these media immersions. And of course, National Seashell Day, which was the very first day of summer, kicked off, and for that we had the Shalove Bug in New York and got some really nice coverage as a result of that as well. And last but not least, we hosted a Chinese model who came to the destination. It's a partnership with Visit Florida, and she produced a video that, or a video was produced of her time in the area and shared in China. And difficult to place a value on that complete experience, at least 17 million impressions, we believe. But we believe that the 5-minute video is worth at least $60,000. And we're not going to show you the whole thing, but we're just going to show you a little snippet of it. Her name is Su He, and she has millions and millions of followers because she is incredibly beautiful. And you will see a little bit of her experience here in Lake County.
阳光、沙滩、海浪，想和海豹君去海边度假吗？快跟上全球旅拍师何穗的脚步，我们一起去佛罗里达晒太阳。你可能见过佛山富饶的金色棕榈滩，也呼吸过迈阿密热情的空气，但你也许不知道，在这个阳光之州的西南角，隐藏着一个叫做梅尔斯堡与塞尼贝尔的人间仙境。这座与墨西哥湾相邻的海边城市，能让人找回佛罗里达最原始的模样。除了蜿蜒无尽的沙滩和湛蓝的大海，这里到处都是珍奇的野生动物、郁郁葱葱的亚热带植物和充满勃勃生机的岛屿。有人说，只有皮划艇才能带你走进南尔斯堡的神秘角落，所以何穗来了这里的第一件事，就是要学会当地人熟练的划船技术。不过海豹君觉得这可看上去没那么。
Just wanted you to see a flavor of it. We'll certainly send you all so you can see the full thing.
Is some of that video from us? Or did she actually have, it looks like, or did she have a drone? Like some of that stuff's like high up.
Some B-roll, of course, she was here and she was in Miami as well. Okay. So some of that, a little bit of what you saw there were a couple of clips from Miami, but
Ocean Drive,
correct.
I wondered where we had Ocean Drive too, but I thought maybe it was some little strip.
No, correct. And So she visited both destinations, but we got, as you saw, a ton of coverage as a result of that. As a very alabaster skin person, I worried greatly about her alabaster skin while she was here, but I want you to know, she had plenty of sunscreen and was well protected, but she very much enjoyed her time here, and it is a market that we know is going to be growing and growing and growing. Direct air service into Boston, New York, a lot of key cities. Obviously none in Florida yet, but I know that Hainan Airlines is looking at Miami, so we are staying in close contact with that conversation about them coming into Miami, because we do believe that our destination has something very special to offer them in terms of a respite. The natural beauty, of course, is very much appreciated, and the educational items as well. They really like, the Edison Ford Winter Estates.
Surely create some interest.
Yeah, exactly. So we're excited about that. And just a quick look ahead, they've got a number of events planned. I think the most interesting one is we're going to do a culinary press trip this fall. So we're really trying to highlight culinary, as we know everyone enjoys dining out when they're on vacation. So we're going to have a lot going on. So that's just a brief overview of the communications efforts the last few months and what's ahead. Now I'm going to ask Jill Vance and Stephanie to give you a domestic and international sales report. We'll start with Jill. Good morning, Jill.
Good morning. I'm Jill Vance, the new Director of Sales with the BCB, and it is an honor to be here. What would you think if I told you that the number of group leads sent to our industry partners this fiscal year to date is up by 6%? Good news, right? Well, I'm happy to report that that is the case. We had a good third quarter, and even better, the potential room nights for those RFPs are up by 30% year over year. What's also encouraging is the total room nights booked by our hotels is also 6% higher than the same time last year. I thought it would be helpful to drill down a little farther to see what market segments these definite room nights are from. So the top row is the booked group room nights that I just went over, and then below are the room nights broken down by market segments of corporate, association, and SMERF. The percentage change year over year shows corporate to be down by 25%, association up by 20%, and SMERF is up as well. To address the corporate slippage, a lot of times companies adopt a wait-and-see strategy around an election, especially as far as conferences go. So I believe this may be the case. I did research and found the exact same pattern in 2012 and 13 with the previous election. Also, take a look at third quarter. The corporate room nights are bouncing back with more room nights booked in third quarter than in quarters 1 and 2. But thankfully, association has been strong and we are still ahead of pace. But we do still have some work to do in the corporate market. BCB on the road. Our group meeting sales team was busy in third quarter. I won't go through everything, but I will summarize the pictures. First is the Red Sox client event in Boston that Betsy Bush, our Northeast rep, hosted, and there were 35 meeting planners in attendance. Next, both Jerry Turp, who was our Midwest rep, and Betsy attended the Helms-Briscoe Annual Business Conference, where there were over 1,900 meeting planners in attendance. And then the next is our Michelle Frank from the West End with a client at ITE, where there were 3,500 third-party incentive travel planners in attendance. And finally, we have Erin Congregan, our Southeast sales manager, attending MPI Georgia and Visit Florida VIP event, and she met with 15 meeting planners. For May and June, our group meetings team attended the Capital Events Trade Show with 4 industry partners, and Erin sent out 8 RFPs as a result of that show. And then Jerry attended the Conference Direct Annual Partners Meeting, and over 200 Conference Direct meeting planners participated. And then the last 2 photos are Betsy at the New York Society of Association Executives event in New York City, and then also Crab Beast, which was a networking event in Washington, D.C., where there were 200 clients in attendance. Our travel agent and consumer sales team was also busy selling the destination in third quarter. Here's Shelley Krant, who is our consumer travel trade rep at the American Society of Travel Agents show, where there were 280 travel agents in attendance. Then we have Jovina Huber, our travel agent sales manager with industry partners on the Florida West Coast sales mission, on which they called on 75 travel agents. Then the International Women's Show and the Southern Women's Show are two consumer shows that we attended, and each had about 30,000 consumers in attendance. And finally, we attended the Peninsula Travel Shows in Texas, where we had roundtable presentations to over 200 travel agents. Shelley and two industry partners trained about 75 Allegiant agents in their Las Vegas call center. And then moving on to Smurf, Candace Coco, our Smurf sales manager and an industry partner, attended the Christian Meetings and Convention Association event and promoted the destination. About 300 faith-based meeting planners participated in this event. And finally, Candace also conducted sales calls in Nashville to megachurches and university meeting planners. A big thank you to all of our industry partners who participated in last month's Northeast Meeting Planner FAM. This was conducted by Betsy and Aaron. As a result of their experience, we have already received 3 RFPs and 6 verbal RFPs to follow, and 1 lead is already close to going to contract. Next are the upcoming activities for our domestic sales team. For July, we have travel agent sales calls in Colorado, New York, Ohio, and Kentucky, and 4 meeting planner events. In August, we have travel agent sales calls scheduled for Minnesota and Ohio, 3 meeting planner events, and 1 consumer show. And finally, in September, we have travel agent sales calls scheduled for Connecticut, New York, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, and Georgia, and then 4 meeting planner events. At this time, I'd like to introduce Stephanie Zinka, who will update you on our international activities.
Thank you, Jill.
Thank you very much, Jill. Good morning, Council. As mentioned, I'm Stephanie Zinke, the International Sales Manager, and I'd like to give you a brief recap for our international efforts for April through July. For the 3rd consecutive year, we participated with Visit Florida at the World Travel Market in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and we were part of a media event that gave us a chance to interact with 21 journalists as they participated in the Florida road trip and traveled through the state in order to discover beyond gateway destinations. As a result of this, we've already hosted 3 travel bloggers in destinations since then. You see here the Active America Summit in China. This is the first time that we attended this conference. It was held in Portland, Oregon. It is a boutique networking conference that focuses exclusively on the U.S. inbound travel from the Chinese market. The 2-day conference offers educational sessions as well as pre-scheduled meetings. And our primary goal and intention of attending this show was to, first of all, find out the current state of the Chinese inbound market, learn about potential growth, especially for the Florida segment, and also best practices on marketing to the Chinese traveler. Jeanette Faria, our Canada sales rep, attended the Air Canada Roadshow co-hosted by Visit Florida in Toronto and Montreal. So you know that we do host a lot of FAMs in our destination, but I think when it comes to April, we accepted a challenge. We wanted to go big. So our highlight for April was that we hosted a first ever mega FAM. We welcomed 150 travel agents from TUI Germany, which is one of Europe's largest tour operators, to our destination. We created 5 itineraries that happened simultaneously throughout the destination, ranging from kayaking at Lovers Key State Park to a shelling trip to Cayo Costa, exploring the Edison Ford Winter Estates, bike riding on Sanibel, getting close to nature at Ding Darling Wildlife. It was definitely a team effort, so for those of you in the room who were involved, thank you very much. We appreciate your support because it was a big undertaking. May was definitely a month that we focused on FAMs and sales missions. First of all, we welcomed our new team member at the German office, Marcel. Hopefully some of you were able to meet him while he was here. He came down for his destination training. We also hosted a travel agent fam from Canada. Back in November, we partnered with Brazil Travel News, which is the #1 trade publication in Brazil, and we did a sweepstake and like a destination feature during which travel agents across Brazil had to go on, answer quiz questions, and eventually compose a inspiring destination pitch story. Now, the best one was chosen, and the winner was finally able to come and enjoy her prize in our destination in May. So thank you for those hotels and industry partners who were very kind enough to support this initiative. In order to keep, the biggest highlight though, however, for May, I believe, was our sales mission to Denmark, Sweden, UK, and Ireland. It was backed by popular demand. We had done it in 2015, and we partnered with 2 of our hotels and covered 4 cities in 1 week. We conducted sales trainings, we did educational travel agent events, we even did a live radio show with Tour America in Dublin. In order to keep innovating and keeping ourselves in front of others when it comes to educating the travel agents, we came up with an idea and did something different and hosted a mixology event with 40 travel agents in London. Each team had to create a cocktail inspired by the destination after watching our presentation and videos. I just want to share one with you. The winner cocktail, which was chosen by the judges, who were our hotel partners, was called, because they had to give it a very unique name, and Brian, you'll like this, it was called Chela Colada, and another one was the Long Island Manatee, or the Captivagination. So it was a great event. We received really good feedback because the travel agents appreciate the fact that it was a different approach to teaching, and it got them involved, and they had a fun time, needless to say. Now, those 2 partners that came with us, Sunstream Hotels and Resorts, as well as Sanibel Captiva Beach Resorts, great thank you to them. We appreciate their feedback and, of course, the trust in us in putting this together and joining us, which, you see their testimonies up here. I do have to say, the other true testimonies, they did let me put their names on there. I might have taken the liberty to take out the feedback when it came to what did you think about visiting 4 countries in 1 week. But, you can ask them later about this. It was a fun experience, but a very tight schedule. As we did our sales efforts over the last 3 months, we received a lot of coverage in both consumer as well as trade publications, covering our FAMs, our sales missions, our activities. It reached all the way from France to Brazil to Germany and Argentina. In June, the VCB, including 7 hotel partners and Commissioner Pendergrass, attended IPW in Washington, D.C. Unfortunately, he can't be here today with us to give his own feedback about the show. During the show, we held 121 pre-scheduled meetings with tour operators, airlines, online travel agencies, as well as we met with 34 journalists from 12 different countries during the media marketplace. During IPW, together with Visit St. Pete Clearwater, the VCB hosted the annual Twice the Party event, where we welcomed 350 guests from all over the world, within our industry. It's an appreciation event for their partnerships and business over the last years. In June, we also hosted a French travel agent fam from Comptoir de Voyage, which is one of the leading tour operators in Paris. And I just want to say that ever since they've been here, which was just recently in June, now we're in July, they've added 3 new properties for Lee County. So this comes to show us that FAMs and bringing them here really, really works, and it's to benefits of all the partners that participate. So thank you again for those who have. Earlier this month, we conducted a sales mission in France. We covered Paris and Lyon. We educated both trade and consumer media, as well as product managers of leading tour operators like Crony, TUI France, and Jet Set Voyage. We also visited 10 different travel agencies for in-house trainings and hosted a lunch and learn for 20 product managers. However, for the very first time, the big highlight was we attended the Royal Horticultural Society Gardens of the World show in partnership with Brand USA in London. It is the world's biggest flower show with 146,000 visitors. a number that this year was well above the yearly average. There was only 3 gardens that were present from the U.S., Charleston, South Carolina, Portland, Oregon, and Fort Myers, Florida. We, however, partnered with the Edison Ford and Winter Estates for a fantastic replica of the Moonlight Garden. In a brief moment, I will invite Lisa Spatoni, Vice President of Community and Visitor Relations of the Edison Ford Winter Estates, to come up here and give you her feedback. This is what we'll be doing internationally for the next 2 months remaining in this current fiscal year, and including trade shows, hosting 2 FAMs, as well as attending a consumer show in Dublin. It is kind of I'm very proud of it, so I just want to make sure that I can share this with you. It's for the very first time that the beaches of Fort Myers and Sanibel have been chosen by the organization of a trade show called La Cita de las Americas, which will be hosted at the end of August in St. Pete, Clearwater, and they've chosen us as one of the official pre-FAM host destinations. So we will be hosting travel agents as well as media from 4 different countries of South America with us in destination for a FAM at the end of August. And this really concludes my part. If you do have any questions now or in the future, feel free to reach out to either Joe or myself. You know where to find us. And now, Lisa, if you could please join us up here. I'll probably go back to this one. Thank you.
Good morning, Council. On behalf of the Edison Ford Winter Estates, I really want to thank you all for letting us partner for the Royal Horticultural Society Flower Show. As Stephanie said, it is the largest one in the world, and what a perfect fit for us and for this destination. Debbie Hughes and I, and Debbie is a senior horticulturist at the Edison and Ford Winter Estates, attended this show, and we worked with the Lee County VCB staff here and for Communications, who's a consultant over in London, and a landscape architect to recreate the Edison Moonlight Garden. And as you can see, it looks exactly like the Edison Moonlight Garden. And I actually was posting while I was over there, and people were commenting, going, "I'm confused. Where are you? I thought you were in London." And it was magical. It was just a beautiful garden, and it won a bronze medal. And as a first-time garden, I was told was a very high honor. So I would like to congratulate the VCB and all the partners that helped us create that garden, because it was just awesome. I couldn't have asked for a better demographic of people. It was amazing. It was just as 146 plus thousand people came in a steady stream, and I kind of divided them into thirds, and it was equal amounts. A third of those people had been to this destination, and we convinced them to come back. A third had been to Florida and not come to this destination, and we convinced them to come back, to come and visit us. And then a third had never heard of us, and we convinced them to maybe that this is where they needed to take their next vacation. So I found it a highly successful show where people were just coming to us and coming to us. Which brings me to For Communications, which is the consultant that the VCB has hired that represents several countries in Europe, and also England. And they were with us. And it was so funny to hear. There were 3 consultants that we worked with that had these wonderfully British accents that kept saying brilliant. And they were describing this destination as if they had lived here. So they were totally immersed and great representatives, and they were very hospitable to Debbie and myself. And I also want to thank the VCB for participating in this show, because we were able to showcase heritage and cultural tourism in this area. And not only, did we talk about the Edison and Ford Winter Estates, but we were able to talk about a lot of the other cultural sites that are here. So it was a wonderful opportunity to be able to do that. So I thank you all for making the commitment to heritage and cultural tourism. And that picture on the right is a princess, and I got to meet her, and it was awesome. So thank you again for allowing us to participate.
So So I'll just add a little bit to that, Lisa, just to make you laugh. I of course, saw some Brand USA folks at the Destination Marketing annual conference, and they said that you couldn't speak after she spoke to you, that you were speechless. and they enjoyed that a little bit. They thought that was precious, how enamored you were with her. But royalty came and visited our garden, so that's pretty exciting. So.
I kept you there as long as I could.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, and she wrote a thank you letter. By the way, the shell necklaces, I forgot to mention that. We gave her one or two for her children, and she wrote back to us, and we have this lovely letter from Her Lady in Waiting.
How about that?
How gracious.
How about that? So great experience. You know, you make these marketing decisions, and sometimes you hit a home run, and this one appears to have been a home run. I think demographically it really was the absolute UK visitor who loves our destination, and I think that I think we're going to see some significant returns to that. And of course, Brand USA is already asking us if we'll do it again. That's the way it goes, right? Before I go to the visitor services report, I have two new staff people that I'd like to introduce you to. First is our new fiscal manager. Let's see, where is Lucy? She's over here. Lucy, will you just stand up while I read a little bit about you? Lucy comes to us after having served as the manager of the fiscal pool in Lee County Public Works for the last 2 years. Prior to that, she spent 14 years as an accounts payable supervisor with the Lee County Clerk of Courts Finance Department. She will oversee, of course, our fiscal operations. She'll coordinate and direct our programs, enforce our policies, and make sure we dot every I and cross every T and don't move the decimal place the wrong way on all our fiscal operations. We're really happy to have Lucy with us. She is a resident of Lee County for nearly all of her life. I think she told me she was 3 when she moved here, and she lives in North Fort Myers, and she has a 13-year-old daughter and an 11-year-old son, and we're really happy to have her on our team. So welcome to Lucy. And we have a new intern, and much like Lucy, who's been here most of her life, Megan's been here all of her life, many generations, which I will get to, but she's our new marketing intern, Megan Harris. She will, of course, be working with Brian and the marketing team. We're very excited to have her here. She has experience working on the Island Hopper Songwriter Festival. She also works for iHeartMedia in promotions. She's a student at Florida Southwestern State College, and she will finish up there before too long and be off to FGCU in the spring of 2018. She's going to pursue a bachelor's degree in communications. And for those of you who are longtime Fort Myers, Megan attended Fort Myers High and is the 4th generation of her family to do so. Thought my daughter at 3 was pretty good, but 4 is even better. So congratulations, Megan. We're happy to have you. And now I'm going to also give Judy's report, because Judy had a family situation and could not join us this morning. So very quickly. All right. Lots of numbers, but I think the most important one is nearly 140,000 visitors assisted during the second quarter of the calendar year for visitor services. I know we all always enjoy hearing what are the most requested accommodations, attractions, and activities. So you see those listed there. I'll just read off the top ones. Holiday Inn Fort Myers, Airport at the Town Center, top accommodation. Ding Darling, the top attraction, and parks were the big activity requested during the April through June time period. Some community and partner support that the volunteer ambassadors at the airport provided. Of course, the Shalove Bug is on display at RSW. It was for a few days in April, and it's back this month. And I had an early flight out the other morning, and so lots of people gathered around the Shalom Bug, both coming and going as I've gone through the airport. A lot of
mileage out of that.
we're getting a lot. We are. I told you we were going to work that baby, and we are. People just are amazed when they see it. They're just, really fascinated. It truly is a piece of art, no question. Of course, a big part of the ambassador program is keeping them educated on the destination, and you see the list of places that they visited this quarter. And of course, Judy always likes to remind everybody to look ahead. We have a sales and marketing meeting on August 17th, right here in this room from 3 to 5, Thursday afternoon. Encourage everybody to join us on August 17th. And then, not to be outdone, right on the heels of Governor's Conference, we will have the Elaine McLaughlin Outstanding Hospitality and Service Awards at the Hyatt at 8 a.m. We'll kick that off at 8 a.m. on the 31st of August. So please join us for that. Last but not least from Judy, I'd like to share with you the video that Judy and Megan Contreras from our communications team put together to highlight our efforts and the travel rally. So.
Charters, the whole thing behind it is protecting what makes this place so great.
So have people that remember and come back, and it just feels like you have friends all over the place, So when they go home after they have been down here for season, they're going to come back next year, and they're going to remember where they had a good time and where they felt at home, away from home.
But it's the delivery of that experience, the way they're treated when they get to the hotel or the restaurant or go on that kayaking tour, the way that people interact with them, that's what really drives them back again and again. We are family. What this is really about is a big thank you to our local tourism industry, showing the value of tourism to our community, but also saying thank you to those frontline employees that really make tourism go.
It's exciting to be with everybody and see everybody enjoy and having a blast of the time. Just show that they enjoy themselves and their loyalty and that they appreciate the great customer service, and that really brings people back when they have a wonderful time. Everyone is happy when they come down to Southwest Florida, and when they come down to the resort, they leave happy and they want to come back.
I get to see visitors from all over the world enjoy and get inspired and just revel in the beauty of this place.
One of the most unique spatterings of attractions and areas to visit that is is head and shoulders above other markets. I met some people who said it's so beautiful here, and they just said they're not going back. We can get lots of people from around the world to help give all the locals all their jobs.
People's families get to eat. They pay for their housing. You know, it's a way of life here in Southwest Florida. And it's just this engine that keeps on going, and it gets better and better every year.
Because I'm happy.
All right, with that, sir, my report is complete.
All right, well, we thank you. Well, we have 2 items of new business today. The first being the FY18 proposed budget report. Is Berta here? She's going to give us, oh, there you are.
I'm not going to sing.
You're not going to sing? You're going to wear one of those funny hats? Yeah.
I could. Just in deference of time, since we've had a few videos, you know, we are certainly open to answer any questions you have. Berta is prepared to do that, but Renee, what questions do you have, sir?
Well, others may have a question too. Yeah, I guess my only question would be to Brian with the new budget. We do have enough money in our advertising. I think it was $13.9 million in advertising to cover the winter advertising initiative that we wanted to do. Is that correct? Okay. That's all I needed. But yeah, I guess my only other comment to Bertie would be, when I added up all, we had $39.7 million in revenues expected, and we're spending about $19 million in the VCB operations and $1.2 on sports, and that left quite a gap. I assume the other is Beach and Shoreline?
Beach and Shoreline.
Okay, good. Thank you.
All the projects, and of course, the debt service on the state.
Yes.
Does any other council member have any questions on the proposed budget?
Looks good.
Kevin?
I haven't been here for a while. I know there are a lot of conversations about adequate reserves and what you have. It still seems like $23 million, is that the right number I looked at? Is there any thought about having 60% of your reserves comparable to your budget? It's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, for sure. You know, as you know, over the last few years, with all the, you know, increases to revenue, those numbers have built up pretty significantly. You know, there certainly is some talk about some potential projects that could be funded from those reserves. I will defer that to county administration, who unfortunately couldn't join us here today. But, you know, there's definitely some conversations about how those reserves could be used, absolutely.
I know I've sat in and listened on many initiatives about, you know, potentially doing different things for advertising and promoting things. I know Inwood Hotels have talked about that a great deal. I mean, as someone that lives within a budget that we have, I have the luxury of having 60% of my operating budget in reserves. It's just a lot of money, and I'd love to see us do what we can, especially since we're about flat this year, and obviously with our revenues. So whatever we can do to maximize that, certainly think it's something, at least this should be a conversation.
Understood.
Yeah, I think your comment is timely, because I think in there it says that our goal is to keep 20% of our revenue in reserves, and that would be about $8 million. We had $23 million. So it's a sizable amount. So I think we will.
There's been a lot of conversation about what to do with it. There's also no protocol on how to use it. Like, there's no, like TDC, like Beach and Shoreline funding, the sales and market, like all those have protocols and amounts that are set, like so that like there's a task force that reviews, it looks, it approves, or brings here for approval. So one of the things that's interesting is there's no protocol on how to use the money. There is a lot of conversation about different projects. You hear things, you know, so, you know, I would definitely talk to Roger, because he might know more a little bit about about some of the stuff that is out in the future pipeline, but there is a lot of money there, and we've talked about it a couple times. And we've also talked about with our occupancies and with the tax revenue, with the things being down, there was a trend. I mean, it happened often enough to become a trend in the hotel community that, so there's been conversations about, does Brian have it? Does he have enough money for the marketing? Can we do we looked at summer, or actually looked at season marketing. Like, there's been a lot of conversation. And so, we are not opposed to, like, we really believe if something needs to happen, we will bring it here and get the conversation started. So
I didn't know if there was potentially even a discussion, and they don't have to follow our recommendation, but certainly a discussion to say you might want to do A, B, C, and D, or there might be some thoughts on how to, I've listened to some of the workshops at the county commission about what to do and what not to do. I just haven't heard anything specific. Another year has gone by, the money continues to grow. As someone that, is responsible to people, I just would think we have an opportunity as a group to look at that amount of money and make a recommendation. I have to listen to us, but at the very least, I've talked to a lot of people, and this is that obviously drives this economy. So doing nothing, in my opinion, really isn't acceptable from my point of view.
Maybe we could, let's see, we meet in August, don't we? Could we, Roger is here at that meeting, maybe we could put it on as an agenda item just to beat it around a little bit.
Okay.
We do that?
welcome back.
Happy to.
Sure.
Sam,
Oh, yeah.
on that note, the Songwriter Fest has been so successful when we decided to make that like a keystone event. So can you kind of come up with some numbers on, what that cost us and how it's benefited us? And because maybe we should consider, something else along those lines, because it obviously is bringing people to our destination. It may be something else that we want to do. And of course, I'm an events person, so I'm on that always, but maybe it's something that we, want to think about is bringing something else like Spoleto to another event. So anyway, so if nobody else has anything, since Renee's happy, I'll move the motion.
Second that.
Thank you.
Any other comments from TDC members? Thank you, Bert.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Oh, we need to make a, do we have to make a motion on this? All right.
We moved it in second. We just need to vote.
We just need to vote. Pam moved it and Kevin seconded.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any objection? No, so moved. So passed, all right. And the second item is the formalization of the event's marketing funding requirements, and Nancy will walk us through this.
Thank you, Renee. Nancy McPhee, New Product Development. I just want to thank the TDC for your ongoing work involved with reviewing funding requests. Today, we're going to ask for you to formalize the event's marketing request for fiscal year 18. The subcommittee met, spent a lot of time reviewing the request, of course, and met on June 15th. And before you is the list of 9 events that they're recommending for funding for next year at a total of $149,359. So if you have any questions about any of them, there is a link to view the requests on our partner site, leavecb.com, should the public like to look deeper into the requests. They were asked to improve the formatting of their request this year with measurements that we're going to ask them to report on next year. So it's a lot of work applying for this funding and reporting on it.
So do we have a motion to approve the $50,641? Is that what?
It's actually $149,359.
Oh, that's right.
So there is a balance. There was $200,000 budgeted for this program. There is a balance, and as we always do, the VCB, that money reverts back to us. That's how Island Hopper became an event. And we are exploring other avenues of using that $50,000 balance for next fiscal year. We would like to present those ideas to you at next month's meeting. That would include some events, just like what you were saying, Pam.
Quick question before the vote. Go ahead.
Go, Kevin.
So it's the intent to try to look at other potential events that might be available, because obviously putting the money in reserves just kind of goes back to
No,
what I just talked about.
We won't put it in reserves.
Okay.
We have some good ideas. Some of it will go to Island Hopper. We would like to revisit the culinary and agritourism promotions that we tried 3 years ago. You'll remember Restaurant Week. It wouldn't be just a week, but it would perhaps be a bi-monthly culinary promotion. So the team, communications and marketing teams have been discussing it, and we will be prepared to present it to you next month.
So in budgeting, just to kind of bring back to, this is a $200,000 line item in our budget, the events marketing. And so we will use those dollars within our budget to do these other programs that we're proposing. Either spend it on beefing up Island Hopper, or hopefully, we're really committed to the culinary side. This is something we're very focused on this year, and that is our true intention, is to spend it on that. But it would not go to reserves.
Yeah, I just want to do everything we can to obviously drive any events we can within reason.
Absolutely.
All right, so we have a motion, and we had a second?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, let's see, what else do we have here today? Deal with today. I guess for council information,
There are several items in your packet. I'll wear you out.
a lot of items in
There
there.
were. I hope it was good stuff. Keeping you in the loop.
All right. TDC member items. Why don't I start? Don't forget, we've got the Governor's Conference coming up the end of the month. We have one more TDC meeting between now and then. I think Fran has given out those members here the packets of those people who have booked already. We encourage everybody to go. It's a fun time. The Diplomat in Hollywood this year, August 3rd, 28th. 28th, yeah. And the only other thing I wanted to mention is don't forget that at the next TDC meeting, we want to be here early because we have a photo. Don't we have the photo shoot at the next meeting?
Photo shoot.
So come looking pretty. We got to do our picture. We're always looking pretty, I know. All right, with that, Pam, do you have anything you want to?
The only thing I have, I hope it's not inappropriate, but I hope we need to send some love and healing thoughts to Judy, and a lot of us know Cindy, her sister, and you mentioned that she's got some family issues, and so let's send love and healing thoughts to her family.
Raina, welcome again. Anything you want to share with us?
Just happy to be here and happy to keep Pearl back at the table.
Well, we're glad to have you.
Thank you.
I don't have anything this month, Renee. I know, I'm sorry.
Colleen.
I'm all good.
Kevin.
Great to be back.
Good to have you back.
We have Kevin back. That's good.
Tony, nothing?
Nothing for me.
All right. We're adjourned.
Excellent.
Good job, Renee.
Dead nuts on 10 o'clock.
59 minutes.
Their moms